Hi, I'm Michael Boyajian, and I'm going to do another book talk today on the 12 books I've written so far on my life with my late wife, Jeri, and our experiences, our journeys, and our love for one another. This book is called the UK Progression, and it's about our 4 trips to London and 1 trip to Edinburgh. And I'm going to talk about the first time we got there. What happened is, just to give you some background, a major case came my way from Governor Eliot Spitzer's office, and we successfully carried it out, and just to make a long story short, ended up unionizing 100,000 childcare workers in New York State, so they can now have a living wage. And I earned you might say, the key to the executive suite. I could pick up the phone and call the governor's council if I had a problem or something. Anyhow, I pick up the phone and call Jeri once I learned that, and I said, we're going to Europe, and we're going twice a year. Before that, we had been like Jimmy Stewart in A Wonderful Life, where we've traveled extensively but could never get across the pond. It's the curse of Jimmy Stewart's character in that movie. Anyhow, we broke out of it, and that first year, 2007, we went to London, and a month later we went to Paris. But I'm going to talk about that London trip first. It was the first time we crossed the pond, and the one thing I can say is everything was new. Everything was slightly different. And you thought of Winston Churchill's famous quote, "We are 2 people divided by a common language." Yes, slightly nowadays, but more so, I think we are divided by different things, really. We flew Virgin Air out, and I had done 70% travel at one time before I became a lawyer and I was in the business world. And what a great airline. I mean, they even gave you socks and a toothbrush, They did everything. It was great. And we were big fans of Branson anyhow, Richard Branson, bit of an adventurer. And so that was interesting. Then, landing in Heathrow and taking the Heathrow Express to Paddington, where in 15 minutes you went from the the airport to the Paddington station, and our hotel was a block away, even less probably. And I noticed one thing about Heathrow Express was that they had first class and they had second class. And first class, you couldn't tell the difference between that and second class. It was strictly a class thing. The people in first class did not want to be with the people in second class. They all had the same equipment, but that's how they wanted it, I guess. And anyhow, we were there in 15 minutes, and then our hotel was very ultra-modern, very European-looking. And the thing they did there is your key, which was the card, would open the door, but in order to turn the lights on, you had to stick the card in a little slot. And then when you left, you had to take your key out, of course, and the lights all went out. That was their way of becoming energy efficient. It was a good idea. So that was new. We went next door to the post office and got some postcards right off the bat out to, our immediate family and some friends. And I don't know what we were doing wrong, but the stamps we'd lick the stamps and they wouldn't stick on the card. We ended up just giving them the cards, and somehow, before we even got home, our recipients got their postcards. I don't know how, but whatever. Across the street was a hop-on, hop-off bus, but we were so burnt from jet lag that we didn't go on it because our tickets were for a different company, which was whose stop was about half a mile away. We should have just forked over the money and gotten on that hop-on, hop-off bus right there. But we ended up walking all the way down the main drag in Paddington. Paddington at that time was like the East Village, a little gritty still, but on the upswing. And another interesting thing was getting into the park, which to get to the bus stop, we had to move through the park a little bit. And I believe it was Hyde Park, but you had to go down through a tunnel and up again. That was interesting. Unlike Central Park, where you just stroll right in, but between through the opening in the wall. And we got on the hop on, hop off bus, and they move fast. You're shaking like this, back and forth. And you got the bus driver. You can understand them. But if you look at all our pictures, they're at like angles, like the Big Ben is at an angle. By the way, Big Ben is the clock, not the tower. Okay, but we call it Big Ben. Let's leave it that way. And we got most of our wow shots. Big Ben was the big wow shot there. Everywhere we went, we had a wow shot. Like in Paris, it was the Eiffel Tower. That's a whole different story I can get into, but we can skip that for now. And so everything was new. The food was not as bad as people said. It was a little bland, if you ask me. And so bland that when I got home, the first thing I did is have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And it just was that packed a lot of flavor. I hadn't had flavor for a week, but we had Italian food, which was okay, and Greek food, and Indian food was very good. Yes, the Indian food was very good, and I give it a little leg up, just a bit over New York Indian food. But anyhow, that's most of the new stuff, and I hope you enjoyed the book. Again, it's called The UK Progression, Our Whirlwind Journey of Love from London to Edinburgh. Hope you enjoy it. Have a nice day.